love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view, hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now?
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Bailey now to kick this one away.
Right there, 54 Mike. I got it!
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he works free. The 40, 30, 20. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, 75 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Wow, first play in the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run with D'Angelo Henderson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
And boy, down a touchdown already, but they're going to line up to go for it on their side of the field. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. A first down carry by Elliott. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
It's a loss of 4 yards. Brings up 4th down.
Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a second time.
65. Check. Crunch. 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 Check. Check. Lucky. Lucky. X3. 218. Chopper.
Henderson going to run for it. Pushing through the contact. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
Here we go. Right there, 54 Mike. What we got? What we got? What we got?
On first down, Elliott. Still on his feet. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
There we go. Wide eight. There we go. Going to 53. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. 54. Watch 54. Come on. You better.
On 2nd and 9. Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ben Gideon. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. That good for 19 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
All day, just like that.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle, Amari Cooper, it's complete. And some room to maneuver. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 37 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Vikings' 43-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Wide eight. Here we go. 46. 46. 54. Here we go. 26.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. They'll roll him out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try and hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 2nd down, Cook.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Randy Gregory. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. Jalen Smith in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
Under 10, 10. Check. Check.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? To throw, Cousins. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Robert Quinn and Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, what a break here. Turnover late in this first half, and now they're set up in field goal range already.
With a chance to get more. So what you're telling your unit as they go out onto the field is very simply this. We've got 3 in our hip pocket. Don't jeopardize that. Let's attack and go for the big one here. Let's go get 6 and give ourselves a chance to really feel good going in.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Ben Gideon able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. That's it for the first half. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Starting the 3rd quarter with Cook. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Marr now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to it after the pick six. Cousins, and he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Randy Gregory, his 2nd sack of the night.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Check. Hey, Ringo, 48.
Back to the ground, Cook, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Cousins on 4th down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack. Well, that's the 4th time that they've tried to go for it on 4th down. They've only converted once, Charles.
And obviously not a good percentage. And if you're going to go for it on 4th down, do you think that you've got the right play dialed up? You can't be stopped. Your momentum's going to keep going. But 1 for 4, that tells you that you need to look at things in a different way, and you need to tip your cap to the defense. They've done a great job.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 35-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Prescott off play action. Rolling to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Taken in at the 11. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
Cowboys 31, Vikings nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jahan, what I need? Check, watch 54, watch 54. You better be afraid of
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack. To try again after the sack. Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Cousins again. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. You got 3 down.
Play action now. Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.